it's your boy. I know why you clicked this video. You want to learn how you can become a multi-millionaire going into 2024, and you want to and you want to know the easiest way possible. Well, my name is Suleiman. I'm here to do the heavy lifting, so you don't have to. I am a neighborhood scientist, not because I'm cooking anything in the back, but because I present you local research that actually shows how to grow your money in the most efficient and effective way possible. And let's actually get into this. This is Profitable Portfolio's 4-component framework. This is my website right here. This is where I do a lot of my research and post content if you're interested. So, welcome, high rollers. Hey, future millionaires, ready to dive into the world of mega money making? Great, I got the ultimate guide for you. Get ready for a quick and insightful journey to build a multi-million-dollar empire. And that's truth behind it, because we're going to show you in only 2 ways. First of all, shout out my boy Soldier. My boy Soldier's out here reading a millions. Achieve our financial success and sustain growth, we're going to be doing 2 types of research: market research and investment research. Market research shows you how to build businesses. Investment research shows you how to grow your personal portfolio. And those are really the only 2 components you need to get rich. Actually, you can stop the video right here and leave and take the information with you, and you'll be good. Those are literally the 2 components you need to be rich. If you can start a business and the ability to target an audience, and if you can grow your own personal portfolio and the ability to actually grow your money over time, you will be 7 figures up. Facts. Okay, now, even though that is the process, that doesn't necessarily mean it is easy. This is definitely a tough goal, and it demands thorough research. And we do this because we want sustainable wealth, and we want it in the most efficient and effective way possible. And this is also going to help us with idea generation and kind of building those solutions that we can put out into the world and actually make money from. And I will have this presentation as well for you guys. So let's go ahead and start out with market research. As I say, we use market research to build digital startups. So we're conducting thorough market research to actually show insights into consumer preferences and identify potential gaps or trends in the current market. Now, this information that we kind of research from, which can be done completely free online, all of this information can help us make informed business decisions and kind of develop strategies that's going to increase our chances of success when we actually do put a product or service out there into the online marketplace. Now, I only say digital startups. Why? Because digital startups, they're relatively low in initial cost, and you have the ability to leverage an online audience. I think that just those 2 pairs, the fact that it doesn't cost that much to start, and you can target a large amount of people. I think those are the reasons why digital startup is probably the route that you should go. And it's going to be the only business model we're going to focus on continuing out with this channel. Now, you do have things like your brick and mortars and your practices and, stuff like that. And I'm not necessarily saying those can't make 7 figures. It's just not our clear-cut objective. And these are some actually digital startups here. I just want to show the vast industry. You don't have to really worry about the different particular specific brands, but look at just the different industries that are using kind of like these digital startups and kind of the vast amount of space and opportunity that's actually in the market to attack. And that's what we're actually going to do. We're going to attack the market. And these are some business models that you can actually look into. Now, these are the average monthly revenue. So these are about how much these businesses are making month to month. Now, this is AI generated, so there is probably a lot of discrepancies within this list. But it's just to give people a rough estimate about what some of these businesses are doing. Now, me personally, I like software as a service. I'm a web developer and I'm a researcher and I guess content creator now. But yes, I like software as a service and I like building software that helps businesses kind of do the task that either saves them money or saves them time. And that's kind of what we're working towards for a lot of these things. Also, lead generation is a popular one. Digital marketing, niche services. This is something I did in the past. Yeah, you have things like content marketing, social media management services. There's a lot of different digital startup pathways you can go and a lot of different ways you can kind of exceed online. And obviously, e-commerce is also a very another popular one. But these are kind of the broader categories of this. For e-commerce, you have different type of e-commerce stores. So you may have an e-commerce store that sells clothing, or e-commerce stores that sells supplements or furniture. So these are just kind of the broader categories. Obviously, when you do your research, you actually want to niche down and choose a specific segment of the market to attack versus trying to tackle the whole business model as a whole, if that makes sense. And as you can see, these make pretty good money. I mean, million. Now, let's actually get into the market research process and how you can actually start building these startups. And again, 4 easy steps. Wait, 4 easy steps. So you define your objective, you do your research design, you make a decision, and you begin to build. That is literally it. When you define your objective, you're just kind of structuring what you want to know or what you're trying to gain from your research. Research design, you're using primary, secondary research, AI, and online data to actually gauge and build a scope about what your ideas may be or the specific objectives you're trying to complete and the information you're trying to gain. And you're also going to use people's opinions and motivations to actually see where the market is at and kind of the sentiments from the most important part of the market, the customers. So once you kind of understand the customers, and that's all research design is really doing, you're just trying to understand you're just trying to understand the customer and trying to see how you can position a business that can actually support them and bring value to them. So that's all research design is kind of encompassed by. Then after you actually have that information, you make a decision. So you use the insights you gain from your research and you actually make a business decision. You highlight key findings and trends and you understand, okay, this is how I want to enter the market and this is the product or service I might possibly develop. Just actually begin to build, right? You actually begin to focus on solving problems, adding value to the niche, and using digital marketing to kind of identify those gaps and build your online presence. And this whole process of MRP and building your startup is gonna be kind of an iteration kind of thing. So this last line is very important because it kind of encompasses this whole process and this whole thing of kind of building a startup that's actually going to be successful. What you want to do is adapt and iterate based on feedback to achieve product market fit. And product market fit is basically when you've built something that people can appreciate. People are willing to buy, people are willing to put money towards, and people actually value what you bring to the market. So, and it's a journey to that, right? It's gonna be a journey to that. You're gonna know when to get up and know how to continuously improve and improve to actually put yourself in a position where you're actually going to succeed and build an online startup that actually makes you millions, right? But this doesn't happen overnight, obviously. Okay, but if you start early, which we are, I don't know how old you are. Maybe you can guess how old I am. The stash. But if we start early, we give ourselves more and more kind of time to fail and fail. And when you start early, you kind of build yourself a runway so you have more room to take off. You feel me? So it's good to start early. It's good to get into this kind of stuff right now. So after the market research process, we go to the investment research. And you use investment research to grow your personal finance. But the thing about investment research, it greatly differs from market research because unlike market research where there's kind of a structure that you can follow and kind of ways you can go about actually market research and building a business, investment research is going to be very, very personalized. It's almost like you have to find your own pathway to successful investing for it to be actually successful because investment research is all based off of your personal finance and how much money you actually have to contribute and how much money you're actually willing to invest and take risks to succeed. But it is not too much of a difficult subject to understand. It's just that it differs since it's so intertwined with the person. But let's actually talk about IRP, which is investment research process, and this is how you can actually kind of find that pathway to be successful. So first, we start with investment goals and risks. So investment goals: what are you trying to gain from investing? Do you want to multiply your wealth? Are you trying to build a retirement fund? Do you want a safety net? Again, and risk tolerance is how much you're willing to take losses for potential gains, right? How long are you willing to take losses? How much losses can you take for potential gains in your favor, right? So very personalized. Figure that out for your kind of own personal, based on your own personal finance, where you want to go with your investment goals and risks. Then you get to allocation and diversification, and this is just simply saying, where am I going to put my money? How am I going to spread my money across different assets and asset classes? And what am I going to do as far as taking risks? Do I want to take a lot of risks and try to get that big return, or am I going to take little risks and kind of get those stable returns over the long term? After you go from allocation and diversification, you go to research analysis, and this is where the heavy lifting comes in the step process. So, for research analysis, this is actually evaluating investments and gathering financial data for your informed decisions. Now, you have different methods that you can actually choose. Some of them right here, like economic conditions, overview, industry analysis. Me personally, I like technical analysis and economic conditions, right? But that's me. That's me personally, right? You might not like charts. You might not like numbers. You might not want to do all of that just to learn, just to invest your money into a specific asset. Now, you could do something like fundamentals, event driven value. What really matters is just finding one, doing some deep research on that, actually getting good at that, understanding it, and then you can start using some of these other methods as kind of pairing methods to support your underlying primary research, right? So that's kind of how you go about these research methods. But research is just another way to support your decision. That's all we're trying to do. We're just trying to support our decision, support our theories. So we actually go to step four, which is select investments, and we actually start putting our money in different investments in in specific assets. We actually want to make sure that we're actually we're actually right on our investment decision, and we're actually making money over time versus losing it through investment. So that is why research analysis is important, and that's basically how you select your investments. You use your research to select how you want your money to grow. Simple enough, right? Right? And then we're actually going to look at some popular asset classes. So again, these are asset classes. So stock and equities, bonds, real estate, crypto. These are just the overall class. Within these asset classes, you have specific assets you can invest into. So you're not going to invest into the asset of real estate, right? You can't. I mean, you can, but you can't. You can't do that. Instead of investing into the specific asset class of real estate, what you would do is invest into specific assets within real estate. So you might invest into commercial real estate, office buildings, single family homes, et cetera, right? And that's kind of how all of these asset classes are. Some more diversified than others, meaning throughout the asset class you have like varying risks. Like stock and equities is one. Like you have a lot of risky stocks, and then you have low risk stocks. So that's kind of what you got to understand when you're selecting these specific assets. And again, I like some of these risky stuff. A lot of this stuff, so stuff like cryptocurrency. Let's talk about some of this stuff. So highly variable. So negative 20% to 50%. These are average yearly returns, though. So meaning you can lose about 20% of your money, or 50. You can gain about 50% of your money, right? And mutual. Then you got stuff that are a little bit lower risk. So like mutual funds, you can gain 3 to 10% on your money versus something like bonds, which is really stable, and you can gain 1 to 6%. The lower the amount you can gain, so stuff like bonds, exchange, mutual funds, stuff like that, the lower the number, the less risky it is, right? The lower the gain, the less risky it is. But having less risky stuff isn't necessarily bad because it's going to be stable. You know, you're going to be getting that type of money in and out every day. But some of this stuff, like cryptocurrencies, forex trading, options and derivatives, these are very high risk these are very high risk things, right? They have a very large percentage between them, and it can be very difficult to be successful in them. But they allow you to leverage money. So you're able to make more money off of your right predictions for things like this. So that's personally why I like stuff like that. I don't. I mainly do options and crypto. I'll say stock and equities as well. And then some of this stuff is a little bit like business acquisition, private securities. I put those here. Private security is just like venture capitalism and private equity. So just buying other businesses and stuff like that. These stuff is a little bit more higher into entry, but I thought I would just add them just to give you guys perspective of kind of the whole holistic market. You feel? So this is my favorite part. It's the plan to action, and I actually like this part. Plan to action. So first of all, commitment and consistency. If you're never committed, you'll never start, and if you're not consistent, you'll never finish. I got that from Morgan Freeman. No, put him on Denzel Washington. Then after you do that, you want to actually start conducting research, right? So this is going to be assessing your unique circumstances, kind of taking the information I already presented to you. It's all up there. All you got to do is scroll back up. It's all there, or click the link in the bio. It's all there for you. So just take the information I gave you, do a little research into the specific businesses, and see kind of what resonates with you. See what you actually would feel motivated to do as far as you're willing to work at that day in, day out to actually grow your money. And yeah, that's kind of how you just start conducting your own research, and you'll kind of know from there as far as what to do. And the same applies to investing as far as looking at the different asset classes and specific assets that you may want to partake in to grow your money. And yeah, that's it. Action. Now go ahead and take the initiative and get to the money. Again, I have my website right here. This is profitableportfolio.com. This is my first day out. So I really hope you guys enjoy this video and this type of content. I'm going to try to be consistent and make videos on the weekly about this stuff. We're actually really going to get into this. This was actually lesson 0, the component framework. I actually have lessons planned out. We're going to really get into actually how you can build these businesses and actually make money at a very, very, very high level. Niggas with me, bitches think we terrorists, aliens.